Okay, we've got Giulio Ridolfo here today. Hi, Giulio. Welcome. Just like to ask you about your career and how would you describe where you've got to today and what your career is really about?
Well, first of all, I'm very happy to be in Australia and to work here because it's really a great experience for me as European. I like blending cultures of the world, so Australia for me represents the possibility of mixing and blending. And my work is done a lot in blendings. I am a textile advisor, color advisor, smoothing person. I do a sort of smooth operator. And I think that the project I was offered by Schiavello in Australia gave me the opportunity to reinforce this language. They give me a lot of freedom to go into a system, into the project that you design. And the climate, I think, it's a wonderful platform to work on it. Constantly changing, constantly moving, and it is like an open, a wonderful library.
Yes. Now, you had some good credentials to come to this project, working for some very famous businesses, and you still do for many of those. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about those recent experiences and other companies you worked for?
Well, transversally I work for different companies in Europe, let's say more or less Europe, two in Italy, but what I'm proud for in the last 2 years are specifically textile work I do for a company in Denmark as textile designer. And I'm very happy about it because it gives me a lot of freedom. I like freedom, but not spontaneity, freedom and a culture of textiles. So this company is Kvadrat and is a good partner for me, also because I select textiles from Kvadrat a lot of times. And I'm very proud about what could happen in Germany. I'm just helping a studio, an architecture studio. It's called Einle Vischer & Partner. And I'm taking care about all the color aspects for an hospital. And this aspect for me is like to be a little bit more philanthropic. I like to work in different fields. I wouldn't consult 10 companies that do design oriented because for me it becomes too much. And I'm starting quite a small thing, interesting, in Italy, with another company I respect a lot because, you know, as far as I go on, my work is more to be like a curator. It's not only advising. I like to really grow up with the companies I work with. I wanted to create a sort of communication quality in colors, first of all. It's like when you set up a new thing, we are working on working stations, and the working station is the working station.
Yes.
That's it. But as elements, then you can add and smooth and add some ingredients. It's like cooking in a workstation. You can work vertically, horizontally. Of course, if I had to select, the first color is a pure white, a good one, not bleached one, and then I can come and cook the recipe.
Yes.
Sometimes I could be very hectic, could be very critical, but I'm critical because I know what I want. I have a perception of quality because I worked in Swiss for a big company for many years, so I know a little bit how could work, how could fit. I'm not that experienced, but I have what I want to reach. And for me, the first thing also with colors, I'm not formed. I didn't study color applications when I was young. I'm a fashion designer. I like art. I like botanicals. I like landscape. But to tune with colors, it's a thing that for me is natural. It comes from maybe from experience also now. But I like the vibrancy of the colors. It's another story. That's what they say in Scandinavia. When they selected me as the first Italian designer in textiles at Kvadrat, they describe me always like someone who cooks the color, who is able to do a preparation, completely different, because it's not consequential. It's assembling, it's not consequential. I don't know, there is an Italian word that means pedissequo. When you do the things that links, blue fits with brown, so we put some more brown and then a little bit of blue. Oh, that's fantastic. I like a little bit of shake, a little bit of distortion I like. Always. Imperfect beauty, like a little bit Japanese. Wabi sabi.
I think people would be very interested to know, do you surround yourself with a lot of objects for stimulation or for comfort? You know, just tell us a bit about how you like to work back in your own studio.
You know, normally I don't work on a workstation. I have it, I use it time to time. I have a laptop, but I'm not a graphic designer, so I don't need... My laptop for me is for research, for mailing, and for looking into images. I don't compose anything by computer. Normally I collect things. It's up to the situation. When I consult, for example, a furniture company, I like to be on the workshop, to talk with the designer, to be involved at the beginning of the project, because I think that every project has got a destiny somehow. Of course, not ever happens, not ever we succeed to a good project, but I pretend a little bit now this moment of my life. I cannot be a textile consultant for a company who only wants to buy 10 colors and 20 textiles, and I send it by email. I don't do. It's not my work.
What is the relationship between fashion and working on a project like this then? Do you often use fashion as a reference, or do you see similarities between the two, the way you wear things one day that you feel comfortable in and maybe you come to work another day? Should the possibility perhaps with climate here be that you can bring some of that personality to your surrounds, do you think?
It will happen, surely, because I trust fashion and I trust industrial design. And design is, for me, industrial design is everything. It could be couturized or not, it could be couture or high street. But what I think is interesting now is the blending of the, let's say, craftsmanship, crafts, applied arts are all the same. Once when I was young, I was very rigid with me. I considered that first there's a painter, then a sculptor, and then a designer, a fashion designer. I don't have these limits anymore. I think that a quality work could be done by everyone. I don't have such a pyramid in my mind. Of course, fashion for me represents the beauty, the instant beauty. It is a long process, fashion. It lasts for 1 hour as a défilé, but it has a lot of energy inside, a lot of research. Of course, even furniture, the field of furniture needs a lot of research on it. But in last years, the blendings within crafts, textiles, colors was very inspired by fashion, as you can understand. And the furniture fair is like a fashion fair. Yes. Too much products, it's like a défilé. Yes.